Cross country season just ended, just about a week ago. Is that right?
Yeah.
You came fifth at SEC. It's a little disappointment that you won your first two SEC championships of freshman and sophomore year. You're coming back now. You're about to start indoor track. What are y'all doing to prepare for that right now?
Just training. We do a phase of base training where we're just running, depending on the day, 45 minutes to an hour every day, and getting ready so you can handle the workout starting in January.
You ran for 4 years, ran for 2 years in middle school. What was it like going through that transition, running every year through high school, and then coming to the collegiate level and being a collegiate athlete and a student athlete at the same time?
It was definitely more responsibility. You've got to be on top of everything. You have the practices and stuff like that, but if you're hurt, you've got to make sure you're staying in shape, or making sure that you're preventing injury. And then there's on top of going to classes, getting study hall stuff, doing all your homework, making sure you're eligible.
You're kind of a low-key type student athlete here at the university. Track athletes, they're not going to get recognized every day, although they are, and as I've seen in all my classes, they're great student athletes. They're all great people. Do you enjoy having that more of like a low-key type deal at the university, or would you rather be somebody that's going to be recognized every time you walk out, like a football player or a basketball player might be?
I enjoy being low-key, probably because I've never been like, the top. Nobody has ever, recognized it. And that in track, there's enough pressure that's on yourself.
Yeah.
Because, you can go to a meet with your team and get third. And everybody's like, well, you didn't win. You're like, that's a good day, because there's only going to be, one winner. It's the nature of the sport is, you're just trying to better yourself. There's no real clear-cut winner or loser sometimes. I can run 2 minutes faster than I've ever done and get dead last. It's like, I'd be pumped.
Yeah.
Whereas, with football or basketball, it's like you're playing games, and if you win, it's awesome. If you lose, you're like, everybody's like, oh,
yeah.
So I think there's enough pressure that you put on yourself to better yourself, time-wise or performance-wise, if you're in a non-running event, that you don't need other people, hounding you about it. So, and it's also nice to be able to have a separate life other than track, which is hard sometimes. It's hard enough sometimes considering how much we put into it. So it's nice to go somewhere and not be known as the track guy.
Yeah. Is it a little bit of more pressure having track and cross country be more of an individual type sport where your results really, really affect the team's outcome? Whereas like in football or basketball, you can have a pretty bad game, but your team can still come out on top. Do you find a lot more pressure on yourself before a race because of something like that?
It goes both ways. In cross country, we're all on the line together, joking around, trying to make light of the situation because you know what's about to come. It's about to hurt. And it takes that sometimes sacrificing for your friends, which it helps to have that team dynamic. Because you're suffering for 3 miles to make sure your team does good on that day. And in track, it's a little bit different because most of the times you're alone and you're on the line. You're looking at your friends like, you jerks, you don't have to race right now. This sucks. I don't like this. But you know that they've already done their work, and then now it's time for you to kind of step up to the plate and try and help them out. So
you have a cousin plays golf at LSU. Both his parents played there as well. Is there a big rivalry going on between the Alabama LSU family right now?
I'm telling you, man, it makes Thanksgiving tough. And if we play them in the national championship, it's going to make, I guess, Easter even more intense. We keep it friendly, though. We tweet back and forth to each other a little bit. Not much trash talking because I'm bad at it, and because we're not exactly in sports that people notice a lot. But it makes family reunions more fun. I'll tell you that. Even if it's a friendly rivalry, we go and we'll talk about stupid stuff our teammates do. It's kind of funny to see the other side of golfing is completely separate from track. You go from one of the most physically demanding to one of the least physically demanding, which I give him crap for all the time.
All right, Austin. I appreciate you coming out and taking the time and doing this.